Crypto is not yet a real asset class because it hasn't been regulated yet. So for all the excitement about it, and one of the reasons I'm long, certainly WonderFi stock and 32 different crypto projects, is that I believe over the next 2 to 3 years we will get regulation, and then finally we can get institutional participation. People forget that 70% of the world's wealth is tied up in pension and sovereign wealth funds. And so if they're not allowed to buy the asset class, there's no underlying bid. And that's one of the reasons we can't get crypto past $24,000. It's really hard because there's not really a large constituency that's permitted to buy it yet, particularly Bitcoin and even Ethereum and even USDC, probably the three most popular right now.
Welcome to Finan Symbol, where money is made easy. And let us listen to Kevin Oleary's thoughts on the future of crypto. The highly anticipated merge of ETH will be eagerly watched by the cryptocurrency community. When will it occur? It is said that it shall commence this September. If implemented successfully, the merge is expected to decrease the carbon footprint of the blockchain, decrease the supply of ETH, and perhaps have a significant influence on the whole cryptocurrency ecosystem. Since ETH miner Chandler Guo suggested to hard fork the ETH blockchain or split the chain into a duplicate version based on the proof of work consensus process, traders have been busily positioning themselves ahead of the merging. Guo's idea received the backing of several miners since the merger would make mining unnecessary. However, the potential popularity of the new chain is unknown. In his most recent interview on the cryptocurrency market, Kevin Oleary explains to purchasers why he is skeptical of ETH and the impending ETH 2.0 merger. Additionally, he offers the most recent information on Bitcoin, ETH, and all other currencies, as well as the rationale behind his gradual increase in purchases. Let us all listen to what he has to say, and maybe you can learn a thing or two to know how to invest for your portfolio.
Well, we do have a big event coming up in September for Ethereum, obviously number 2 out there. Do you see any kind of catalyst between now and, let's say, I'm not a short-term guy, me in the end of 2023 or so, that could be that catalyst to get Ethereum, Bitcoin, and the broader market to really get the next leg higher?
Well, first of all, the merge has been forecasted to occur for 4 years in a row now. So for all the excitement, I'll believe it when I see it. There's a lot of people that are dissuaded from doing this in the Ethereum mining business. So they're not that excited about it. So you've got, an inconsistent harmony occurring. Now anything could happen, but really at the end of the day, ETH it's slow and it's expensive. And so if it doesn't fix itself, it's going to have lots and lots of competition. And so everybody has an opinion on this. And I think the market is being the market. I have a pretty big ETH position as well. I'm going to wait and see what happens because it has attracted more applications, more usage than anything else to date. But that doesn't mean it's fixed in stone. Anything could happen. And so I also think that there's other applications from HBAR to Solana, Polygon, all kinds of different ideas in terms of how this should happen and how financial services work and the cost, the speed, the fees, the transparency, auditability, security, all of these things. And I tell people, look, if you want exposure, have at least 7 or 8 positions on these projects because you just don't know. You can do it by order of market capitalization. That's easy to find out. But that doesn't mean you're right on doing that either. So diversification on this very nascent system, and whether, it's where it all fits. And when people tell you, well, I know with certainty this particular level 2 is going to really work, they have no idea. It's the adoption by users of apps and applications on top of it and payment systems and transparency and all the rest I mentioned that will eventually determine whether that platform is profitable or it isn't. At the end of the day, if it never makes any money, it's going to zero like every other business. And many will go to zero. And that too is okay.
So real quick, before you answer, Ben, Kevin, real quick, you said many of these will go to zero. So do you picture this, let's say at the end of the decade, 2030, going from how many thousands of coins now to something in a ballpark of 300 or 400 that, a lot of these small ones will go by the wayside? Or is it something that this will continue to grow in the small micro cap, if you want to compare it to the stock market, will hang around?
I think there'll always be, opportunistic token creation and trying to define it, whether you're playing a game or whether you're using it to buy something in the metaverse. There's so many different use cases being tabled. But in the end, when you look at most markets, what you find is the adoption of standardization that creates value. So if all of a sudden there's 10 stable coins that come to market for payment systems, my prediction would be that there'll only be 3 survivors 10 years later. And they'll be behemoths, they'll be very large, and they may have slightly different attributes. But, there's already 64 billion in Tether and 54 billion in USDC. They're likely to survive, assuming they can survive audit, and then maybe a few others. And always the rumor of the feds themselves creating their own digital dollar. I'm very skeptical of that. The last place you want development work done is with the government. They're the worst at it. So I'd let the private sector figure that out and just the government provide regulation. But, everybody's speculating on this stuff. The one constant that I would remind everybody to think about in why the use case for investing in this sector, and I personally believe over the next decade, crypto will be the 12th sector of the S&P. And the reason I believe that is when I teach graduating cohorts of engineers, I don't care what college you do it at. You can go to MIT, Harvard, you can go to Waterloo in Canada, or Temple, Notre Dame, you name it. A third of the graduating class, the smartest hands above keyboards in the world, because some of these classes are 1/3 international, particularly MIT. They have no interest in, as engineers, to go back to the other 11 sectors of the economy. Zero interest in working there. They all want to work on the blockchain. So my argument is you can't take that much intellectual capital, the best and the brightest, put them onto this sector by the tens of thousands every week and not expect incredible outcomes. So it's just like at the beginning of the internet, and all of a sudden when people thought, oh, the internet's not going to be anything, look at it today, it's the backbone of every economy. The same thing I think will happen in crypto just by the amount of intellectual talent. So it seems pretty stupid to me to invite international students from geographies that are very advanced in crypto and then kick them out of the country after they're educated. It's very stupid, and that policy should be fixed. Even the brightest, look at it, Sam Bankman-Fried. I mean, a 30-year-old, 22 billionaire. He is an American citizen whose parents are compliance lawyers at Stanford, and even he doesn't operate in the United States because he has no policy and regulation and backbone to work with. So all of that money and that intellectual capital that he is gathering from the Caribbean islands should be stateside, but it's not. So we have to get some policy into this sector, or we'll continue to lose the country's brain trust in this nascent sector.
The approaching ETH merging is one of the most eagerly awaited events in the cryptocurrency world right now, but it is not without its problems. Fortunately, when problems do exist, ETH developers act quickly to fix them. After ETH's big on-chain and mainnets unite, nobody can predict what will happen next. Some market players are still pessimistic and think that much of the price movement has already happened. If the merger were to be postponed in any way, prices would probably fall, which would be consistent with other occurrences of this in its history, dating back at least to 2016. Hopefully the integration won't be delayed once again, as it has been in the past. That was Kevin Oleary's take on the possible developments in the future of crypto. What are your thoughts on ETH merge? Feel free to comment down below, and what are you looking forward to, maybe even invest in crypto to enhance your portfolio. Always stay focused on learning and developing discipline. Get educated, make a plan, and stay the course. If you found this informative, smash the like button, please share it with a friend, comment down below, and let us know what would you like to have made Finan simple next. And definitely subscribe so you don't miss new content. Keep your head up, ears open, and always search for knowledge. See you soon!